Did writing Bring Me One of Everything come as easily to you as Under the House?
Oh, Lord, no. Under the House, I really think it was kind of delivered to me really in one question that a relative of mine asked, which was, did you know that your aunties, raised as sisters, were actually mother and daughter? Oh. And I didn't know. And the answer to the question unfolded in the book that became Under the House. With Bring Me One of Everything, I felt like I really had to earn it. It's a book of ideas, and it's a book of strong characters, and really of coming back together in a reunification. So it was a hard one.
We learn that the Aboriginal people in the book have cultures quite unfamiliar to Western culture. For example, the Haida in northern BC measure wealth and status by how much they can give away. Their possession of things is less important than owning the rights to the stories and the songs. So how did you learn all this?
Well, of course, I became very close to the Native people, and a lot of them became my friends. And I felt in tackling the book, I really needed a guide. And there was one Native man who was especially helpful to me, and particularly in these areas that are hard to describe. He told me that I could know things indirectly, and that there was really not such a strong wall between the spiritual and the material, that the wall can be taken down between man and animal. It's a penetrable divide, and so in teaching me about that, I explored it with my characters, and that's what Alicia is required to do in order to confront the blocks in her life. And she, for example, she goes to a spirit dance, and as I did, and she's terrified.
What is a Native spirit dance?
Well, it is hard to describe, but it is a place where the spirit comes alive in the individual, and it's also a place where it's a place of tremendous communion for the people themselves. And these gatherings where these dances happen, they were outlawed at the behest of the church by the Canadian government for over 60 years, and they had to go underground, and they did. And this is one thing that Alicia has to go there in order to discover how to bring her own spirit alive in many ways.
So where does the title of the book come from?
Bring Me One of Everything is actually taken from the historical facts that in early days the Smithsonian Institute sent out ethnographers into northern villages in BC and elsewhere. And in one community, the story is that the ethnographer sat in the middle of the village and said to the Native nations, "Bring me one of everything," to be taken back then to the Smithsonian. And the idea was that these Native nations, as we call them, were not going to survive. And the title changes through the book because it becomes more about, especially for Sophia and Alex, where Sophia says, "I have one of everything." She acknowledges the wealth that she has.
What do you plan to do next?
I'm close to finishing another book that's a lot about the law, but it's not about Native issues. It's about it's called Indulgence, and it's about a famous actress who is charged with abduction. And it's been fun to write because there's the character, one of the main characters is the judge, and we're able to go into his chambers and into his mind and into his worries about what he's doing as a judge. And I'd never done that before, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to finish that. I don't think it'll take much longer. And then I'm going to join the horde of people who are writing their memoirs.
Let's say if a Renaissance woman is a woman who is sophisticated and accomplished in many fields, that is certainly you. So I understand now you're spending your time all alone on a remote island doing your writing. You built a cottage there?
Yes, it's on a, as you say, a remote island. It's off the grid. I get electricity by turning a solar panel towards the sun as the day goes on. And when I was there about a month ago, there was a whale in the inlet that had breached and was diving, and it's a magical place. You know, the seals pop up in the bay and seem to want to know how I'm doing, and so it's great. I might write about that one time.
Leslie, it has been a joy talking to you. So I know everyone is going to find the work and your life as interesting as I do.
Thank you. It's been fun.